Hello everyone, this is Michelle and this is my lesson plan. So I was to do an interactive writing lesson plan and I focused on phonemes and graphemes. The thing that we will be reading first is Old Mother Hubbard, the old nursery rhyme. So this will be posted and we will read it. So my lesson plan, interactive writing, phonemes and graphemes. The subject is ELA, grade level is for kindergartners. These are the standards, so it's writing. Students write for different purposes, and audiences, students write clear and focused text to convey a well-defined perspective and appropriate content. And there's the standard, and I use a combination, drawing, dictating, and writing to focus on one specific topic. And then the objectives, so this is my objective. Using their writing tools, kindergartners will all help and participate in helping to identify phonemes and graphemes found in the title, Old Mother Hubbard's Cupboard. They will then draw and label food that will go in the cupboard using at least 3 different colors for their picture and label. These are all of the materials. These are quick little pictures of what I will be using. There's some further along as well, but this kind of gives an idea. So they'll need their writing tools, a pencil and a few crayons, an ABC chart, which is on a different page because that's for their adaptations. And their poster board is right over here. And the reason why this is all different colors, it kind of gives you an idea of what it would look like after they are done, because each student is going to be participating in writing the title. The 2 slides on the computer down here. So this is how I'm going to get their attention by flashing these slides up on the board. Directions and then the reading that we're going to be doing together. The paper for individual food activity is right here. This is what they're going to be cutting out later. Their label is going to go up here, their name down here, and then glue and scissors. So this is my procedure. So step 1 is to flash the directions on the board, and they're listed for you. And then after that, I will go to the next slide of Old Mother Hubbard. We will read it together. I will read it once, we will read it together once, and then I'll have them try and do it by themselves once. And then if needed, I will, of course, step in. Explain what Old Mother Hubbard is. It's a nursery rhyme. What is a nursery rhyme? Does anybody know? And there's the definition. Explain the first step of the group activity. So just after we read it, tell them that we are going to be creating our own cupboard, and our own version of Old Mother Hubbard's Cupboard. Together we will write that title on the top of that poster board that I showed. Go through all of the phonemes and sounds that we hear in Old Mother Hubbard's Cupboard, so we will be sounding it out together. And for each phoneme, we will be, one student for each phoneme will come up and write the grapheme that goes along with that. So, for example, Old Mother Hubbard, the first sound we hear, O. One student will be in charge of hearing it, saying what letter goes along with it, and then writing the letter. They will first write it in pencil. Once I agree and once the rest of the class agrees that that is correct, we will, or that student will then trace it with a crayon to make it brighter. And within this, of course, the title, the first letter of each word is going to be capitalized, so we will also talk about that. That will not be assessed, but that is just something important to talk about in a writing activity. Number 6, every student needs to participate. So like I said, 1 student for every phoneme and grapheme. Now, we have some chatty kids in the class, of course, and then some that are a little more shy. So some are not going to volunteer to come up, but since they are assessed on participation, I will call on each student to come up. That way they all are assessed on that. 7, once the title is completed, so once they helped write that title, I will then go over the next directions. That way it's fresh in their memory, and they wouldn't forget it over that period of time. So I would say, unlike Old Mother Hubbard and her empty cupboard, ours is going to be full. So what we're going to be doing is they're each going to get that sheet of paper, and I will show it to them. And what they're going to do is they're going to draw an item of food in that box, and they will color it. but they will label it on the line. So there's their writing again. They will be sounding out whatever they want to write, and they will be writing it. And then the 3 colors, that's what they're assessed on, is being able to label, and then the participation, and then the 3 colors. The label is there because in that lesson we're talking about labeling. That's one of their vocab words that's going to be newer for them. So that's more of just understanding what a label is, and then the assessment is on the 3 colors to color in their picture. And then of course suggest drawing with and coloring, labeling with pencil first, drawing and labeling first, and then coloring and tracing after. And then don't forget their name on the bottom. Go over that, all the basics. Then go around the room once they're started back at their seats, and help where needed. Of course, with those who struggle a little bit more, check in with them. If they need any adjustments, I will have them, and they'll be on the other page. And so then the next one, go over their last step of instructions, which would be to cut out that box that has the drawing and label in it, and they will glue that on the class cupboard poster. That way we'll have a class cupboard. And then after everybody is done, we'll hold up that nice poster and have one child come up at a time and point to their item and share what it is. So this is my assessment card. There's the participation and there's the colors used. 5 points for participating in the group activity, which is the phonemes and graphemes, and in their individual drawing. Did they do both? That's 5 points. If they did either, one or the other, 3 points. And if they did not, it's 0. 3 colors used, 1 to 2 colors used, 0 colors. Total out of 10. Very self-explanatory. You just circle what they would get and then write it down there. So here, this is the ABC chart I was talking about, and I'll talk about this more in here and what that means. So some of the adaptations that I came up with are students who struggle with identifying phonemes. So that sound, what letter makes that sound? Will be given 3 choices to choose from. So instead of just having, all 26 letters, what is that sound? They will be able to have 3 choices. And so an example, in looking at the next word, mother, I would say, what letter says in mother? Mother. Is it a B? Is it an M? Or is it a T? That way they have 3 choices. The answer is in there, but they have a smaller amount to choose from. And then students who struggle with writing the grapheme, so writing the letters out, will point to the letter on the ABC chart. So that's where that comes in handy, is if they're not able to think of what that letter might look like, we can either look on the chart, and that's for any student too. They can look on that chart, or they could point to it. We can all agree. And then if they have trouble writing it, like I said, I will put a dotted letter on where that letter will go, and they will then trace that with their crayon. That way they still write it, but they have a little help doing that. The last one, students who have trouble writing will have assistance for their labels. So then when they're on their individual activity, they will also have help. Same kind of thing here is the teacher will be with the student, and the student will be in charge of saying the letters and figuring out sounds. But then when it comes to the writing, the teacher will help do dotted lines, and they can point to letters again, see which letter goes with it. Teacher will do dotted lines, and the student can trace. That way, again, they're writing it, but they have a little help. And then extensions for at home with family members. Practice reading through the other nursery rhymes. And I will send home a sheet, and that's on the next page, of book ideas, websites, whatever, videos, ways that students can practice at home, and then they can do the phonemes and graphemes. And I said this would also be a great idea because we're going to be talking about rhyming, and nursery rhymes are known for that, so that would be awesome. And here's that paper that I would be sending home. So I have quite a few books listed, nursery rhymes. You can never have enough. Videos, this is focusing on phonics, and then it's kind of to a tune of a nursery rhyme, so it's kind of fun. And then here are 2 websites. This one is nursery rhymes where you can find them online, and that's really nice. So I would send that home. And last but not least, these are the related materials. So this is a book I would suggest, and that was also on the list from before. This is a book of more than 75 nursery rhymes that would be available. I would have that. And again, that was on something that they could do at home too. Websites. Here's the Spelling City website, and I found this great game. It was very fun, very interactive, where it gave you a sound and you had to choose the letter, and that was awesome. And it was also spelling out words. It wasn't just picking the letter, so that was great practice. And then the app, it's a word sounds app, which is also, it honestly focuses on everything. It's breaking apart words, it's saying the sounds, counting how many sounds, and then identifying them, and even just tracing like with your finger letters. It's awesome. So that's what I found, and this is my project. So I hope you all like it. Thank you.